The Usual Suspects has one of the greatest twist endings in cinema history, but here's what most people don't realize. The twist isn't something that happens at the end. It's something that's been sitting in front of you the whole time, in the background, in the dialogue, even in the names. By the time the credits roll, you haven't just been fooled by a character, you've been fooled by the film itself. I'm Sam, and I do weekly deep dives into movies you love. I found 25 hidden details in The Usual Suspects that will completely change how you watch it. Let's get into it. Number 1. Every single time the name Kaiser Söze is mentioned in the film, the very next cut goes to Verbal's face. Not always immediately, but consistently, the edit always finds him. Watch for it.
There is no Kaiser Söze.
The film is linking the name to the man from the first mention in every scene through the cut. Singer is telling you the answer with every transition, and the audience's attention keeps sliding off it. Number 2. The bulletin board in Rabin's office is the key to everything, and it's visible in the background of Verbal's interrogation scenes the entire time. The board contains the name Redfoot on a police mugshot.
We arrived in Los Angeles and met McManus's fence, Redfoot.
An advertisement with Guatemala travel currency.
Back when I was picking beans in Guatemala, we used to make fresh coffee.
A tag from the manufacturer Quartet Skokie, Illinois.
I used to be in a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois.
At 0.25x speed, pause on the board in any interrogation scene and you can read these details. Number 3. When Kujan drops his coffee mug at the end and it shatters, the camera holds on the broken base. The name printed there is Kobayashi.
There was a lawyer. Kobayashi.
The most powerful and menacing figure in Verbal's entire story, Söze's untouchable lawyer, the man who delivers death sentences, is the brand name on a piece of pottery. Verbal invented him from a coffee cup. This is visible on screen in the final minutes, and it reframes every scene involving Kobayashi in the entire film. Number 4. The name Kaiser Söze is hiding its own secret in plain sight. Macquarie confirmed he found Söze in a Turkish dictionary. It comes from the idiom söze boğmak, meaning to talk unnecessarily too much and cause confusion. In Turkish, söze essentially means verbal. Kaiser Söze and Verbal Kint are literally the same name in 2 different languages, hiding in the title of the film's main mystery. Turkish audiences who saw this film in 1995 already knew the twist before it was revealed. To them, asking who is Kaiser Söze was the same as asking who is Verbal, and the answer was right there. Number 5. Verbal struggles to light a cigarette during his interrogation. His hand is too disabled. Kujan has to light it for him. Now go back to the opening scene on the ship where a shadowy figure approaches the wounded Keaton and shoots him. That figure lights a cigarette using an elegant gold lighter with a confident, steady hand. Then, when Verbal collects his belongings as he leaves the police station, one of the items handed back to him is a gold lighter which he uses immediately on the street with no difficulty whatsoever. The lighter is visible in both the opening and the final scene. It connects them directly. Before we go further, if you're enjoying this, hit subscribe and give this a like. It genuinely helps me make more of these. And if you spotted something in The Usual Suspects that I haven't covered, drop it in the comments. I read every single one. Number 6. Along with the lighter, the items returned to Verbal when he leaves the station include a gold watch.
One watch, gold.
Earlier in the film, during the flashback sequences depicting Kaiser Söze's hand, close-up shots that never show his face, he is wearing a gold watch. The same gold watch. Those close-ups are designed to be anonymous, to hide the identity, but the watch is visible and it matches what is handed back to Verbal at the desk. Pause on both shots and compare. Number 7. In the climactic gunfight sequence on the boat, every shot shown from Kaiser Söze's point of view, his point of view as he executes the men, is immediately preceded by a cut to Verbal Kint. Every single one. The editing is structuring those point of view shots as Verbal's perspective. At 0.25x speed, you can track this pattern across the entire sequence. The film is showing you who is pulling the trigger through the edit, not the image. Number 8. Verbal tells Kujan early on that he was in a barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois, as a seemingly throwaway piece of backstory. Kujan dismisses it.
You know, back when I was in that barbershop quartet in Skokie, Illinois.
You don't think I know you held out on the DA?
But it's the first thing Verbal invents from the board. The manufacturer's tag on the bulletin board reads, Quartet Skokie, Illinois. That throwaway anecdote is the earliest signal, visible on screen, that Verbal is reading rather than remembering. He drops it into the conversation so naturally that neither Kujan nor the audience questions it. Number 9. When Verbal and the others are on the boat listening to the men they're about to attack, Keaton guesses they're speaking Russian. Verbal immediately and correctly identifies the language as Hungarian.
What language is that?
Don't know. Russian, I think.
Hungarian.
A small throwaway moment. But Kaiser Söze is Turkish, and Hungarian gangsters were the ones who attacked his family and started his legend. He would know that language. A con artist playing a terrified civilian wouldn't. It's the kind of slip that only registers on a second watch. Number 10. The lineup scene where the 5 suspects are asked to read a line of dialogue was supposed to be shot seriously. It descended into chaos because Benicio del Toro kept passing gas on set. Kevin Pollak later confirmed Del Toro did it 12 times in a row. The cast couldn't stop laughing. Bryan Singer eventually decided the funniest version was the best version and kept it. What you're watching in that scene, the genuine inability of professional actors to hold it together, is real. That laughter is not performance, it is the actual cast being defeated by Del Toro. Number 11. Benicio del Toro's character Fenster is almost completely unintelligible. His dialogue is delivered in a garbled, layered accent that nobody can fully understand.
Everybody I've ever worked with or did time with.
Del Toro did this deliberately. When he read the script, he realized Fenster's only narrative purpose was to die early and demonstrate Söze's power. He decided the character needed something memorable, and since it wasn't going to be his storyline, it was going to be his voice. Every baffled reaction from the other cast members to Fenster's speech is genuine. They could not understand him either. Number 12. The character of Fenster is named after the German word for window. This is visible on screen only in the sense that his name appears in the credits and in dialogue, but knowing it changes how you read the character. Fenster is a window into the criminal world of the film, the first one to die, and the one whose death opens a window onto how dangerous their situation truly is. The names in this film are never accidental. Number 13. In the interrogation scenes, Kujan keeps pushing Verbal toward the conclusion that Keaton is Kaiser Söze.
Keaton was Kaiser Sose. No.
Verbal resists, protects Keaton, expresses grief about him. On a first watch, this reads as loyalty. On a second watch, Verbal is steering the entire conversation. Every time Verbal appears to be resistant or emotional, he is actually controlling the direction of Kujan's thinking. The interrogation that looks like Kujan breaking Verbal down is actually Verbal building Kujan up, leading him exactly where he wants him to land, on Keaton, away from himself. Number 14. The film never shows you Kaiser Söze's face directly during the flashback sequences. Only hands, silhouettes, and impressions. But in the final scene, as Verbal walks away and the facts of the police sketch arrives at the station, the camera holds on the sketch. It is clearly Verbal's face. This is the film's visual confirmation, not a plot reveal through dialogue, but an image held on screen long enough to be unambiguous. At 0.25x speed, you can freeze on it and compare it directly to Verbal's face as he was sitting in the interrogation room. Number 15. Verbal tells Kujan he witnessed Keaton being shot from behind the ropes on the boat, but in the scene as it is shown to us, the ropes that Verbal says he was hiding behind, there is nobody there. The camera shows the ropes clearly. There is no one crouching behind them. Verbal's version of events and the film's own image of those events contradict each other. At 0.25x speed, you can pause on those ropes and confirm the space is empty. The film is showing you the lie while Verbal is telling it. Number 16. Verbal recounts a conversation between Keaton and his girlfriend Edie that supposedly happened when Verbal was not present. He describes it in detail, with dialogue. He could not have been there. He could not know what was said. Either someone told him or he invented it. The film never explains this, but it means that at least some portion of what Verbal tells Kujan, including intimate private conversations he had no access to, is fabricated. The scene is in the film, the conversation is described, and Verbal's presence is impossible. Number 17. Keaton asks Cersei for the time. In the opening scene, just before he's shot, Keaton asks the shadowy figure,
What time is it? 12:30.
it's his last request. Why ask for the time? Because Keaton knows who he's talking to, accepts it's over, and wants one final quiet moment. The question makes no practical sense for a dying man unless it's resignation. And on screen, Cersei checks the gold watch before answering. That same watch is handed back to Verbal at the station desk. Number 18. Singer confirmed that he told each of the major cast members separately that their character was Kaiser Soze so that everyone would play the film with total conviction and nobody would give the real answer away through their performance. Gabriel Byrne, Kevin Spacey, and others all believed they were Sirs. At the first screening, Byrne was so furious when he discovered the truth that he confronted Singer in the car park outside the cinema. Every actor in the film is playing a version of the story in which they are the answer, which is exactly how Verbal designed the story he told Kujan. Number 19. The title of the film itself comes directly from Casablanca. In the 1942 film, Captain Renault orders his men to
round up the usual suspects.
A line so famous it became part of the cultural vocabulary. Macquarie confirmed the title came from a column in Spy magazine that used the phrase, and Singer knew immediately it was the right title. The film spends its entire runtime watching an interrogator try to find the guilty party among the usual suspects and fails completely. The title is both a homage and a joke at Kujan's expense. Number 20. Hockney's interrogation line foreshadows his guilt. During the police interrogation, Hockney tells one of the officers,
I'm gonna have your badge.
Almost word for word the line the suspects were asked to repeat in the lineup, which was supposedly said by the truck hijacker. The lineup phrase was,
Hand me the keys, you
Hockney is the one who hijacked that truck. He's essentially quoting himself back at the cop without realizing it. Number 21. Kaiser Soze was based on a real person, John List, a man who murdered his entire family in 1971 and then disappeared for 18 years, living under a false identity. Macquarie confirmed this was the foundation for Soze's backstory, the idea of a man who kills the people closest to him as a demonstration of ruthlessness and then vanishes so completely he becomes a legend. The FBI's Most Wanted segment that eventually caught List aired in 1989. Macquarie was writing The Usual Suspects in the years immediately after. Number 22. The phrase,
The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist.
one of the most quoted lines in the film was not written by Macquarie. He confirmed after the film was released that neither he nor Singer knew at the time that the line came from the French poet Baudelaire, who wrote it in the 19th century. They discovered the source after the film was finished. Verbal delivers it as his own insight, but it was lifted from literary history, which is entirely appropriate for a man who builds his entire story from things around him. Number 23. The office where Kujan interrogates Verbal is not Kujan's office. This is stated in dialogue. He borrowed it from Sergeant Rabin.
He will not go into the interrogation.
Then someplace else?
Where?
This is crucial. Kujan does not know what is on that bulletin board. He has never seen those items before. He cannot recognize the names on them as anything other than what Verbal is describing. If it had been his own office, he would have known Redfoot was just a name on a mugshot on his own wall. The borrowed office is the mechanism that makes the entire deception possible. Number 24. Verbal tells Kujan at one point and almost under his breath,
Tell me you saw someone kill Keaton.
I did.
You're lying to me.
Kujan is speaking simultaneously, louder, and the line gets buried under the noise. On a first watch, at normal speed, it is almost impossible to hear. At 0.25x speed with the volume up, it is audible and unambiguous.
I did.
You're lying to me.
It is the one moment in the interrogation where the truth slips through, a confession delivered at exactly the volume and moment designed to be missed. Verbal tells Kujan the truth, and the truth goes unheard. Number 25, and the last one, and it is the one that gets me every time. In the very first scene of the film, before anything is explained, Keaton is lying wounded on the ship. A figure approaches. Keaton looks up and says one word,
Kaiser.
and the figure says nothing back. He just raises the gun. On a first watch, this is atmospheric, the mysterious villain revealed. On a second watch, Keaton is not calling out an enemy's name. He is recognizing someone he knows. He is looking at the man he has been working with. He is looking at Verbal, and Verbal shoots him. And that's 25 hidden details from The Usual Suspects. And what gets me, having gone through this frame by frame, is how thoroughly Verbal controls not just Kujan, but us. The entire audience is Kujan. We sit in that room and we believe the story because we see it visualized. We assume that what we're shown is real. And the film never once cheats. Everything it shows us is filtered through Verbal's narration. He chose what we saw. He chose what we believed. The greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing us we were watching a film when we were listening to a story. If this broke your brain, hit subscribe and give me a thumbs up. It genuinely helps. And if you spotted something I missed, you know where the comments are. I'll see you in the next one.